Yo, what's up everybody? My name is Nate with CSG. Believe it or not, this is actually not a guitar playing video. I was just playing guitar and I was like, I kind of want to film a video for Common Sense Gaming. So here we are. I have it on though, if we ever feel like jamming out. I cleaned the fretboard today, slapped some new strings on, and it's just feeling clean, so I've been in like a jam mood. Yeah, so that's the backstory with the guitar in the lab. For now, 20 seconds in, let's begin the video. So this video, as you can tell, is going to be about Sony and the PlayStation, and the recent news we're getting that Sony is very much open to bringing their exclusive PlayStation titles over to the PC. Now, you guys know that I am a PC gamer. I love all platforms, just want to make that clear. I love all platforms, but I am primarily a PC gamer, and that is my favorite way to play games, like 99% of the time. And I'm using mouse and keyboard. Dark Souls is really the only game I'm going to play on a controller, and I bet that's the way a lot of PC players play as well. So what does this really mean for us? Dark Souls is a great accident for me to bring up, because one of the biggest Sony exclusive IPs that people are begging for every time it's mentioned that Sony is bringing games over to Steam is Bloodborne. You guys knew that name was coming out of my mouth right when we started talking. This all means that games like Bloodborne could be coming to PC, and of course you guys know obviously that's the big one that I want. But let's talk about kind of like some of the greater I don't even speak English, dude. It's my second language. What are some of the bigger problems or some of the upsides of implications? There we go. What are some of the implications of this happening? So at first, you're going to ask yourself, Nate, what is the point of exclusives if they come to PC? What is the point of having a console? Well, what is the point of any of this? It's a big joke now to have exclusives. There's absolutely an argument to be had there. I stand on the other side of the fence, where I think it's probably better long term. I think we can all agree it's better if everyone can play these games. Obviously, everyone thinks that. But I think even from a business perspective, if you're, let's say, you're really into the Sony PlayStation and that franchise of systems, and you really want everyone to be on the PlayStation because you also want your friends to be on the PlayStation. You're like, this is, if Bloodborne and if our other IPs, Horizon Zero Dawn, that has already now gone to Steam, then people are not going to want to play PS4 anymore, and I don't want to spend all that money on a computer, and I like my DualShock and playing on my TV in my living room. I don't want to get a PC. So that's completely understandable. I think at the end of the day, what has happened is that Microsoft and Sony have both realized that they are sitting on IPs that are far too valuable to be locking down to one system, and even potential console sales are not worth the effort in trying to lock down an IP and keeping it stuck to one piece of hardware instead of letting it be platform free, or at least not letting the competitor like Sony have it, but if you're at Microsoft's Xbox, but at least letting PC players get their fair share to it. Now, I think this benefits so many more people, and the fact that it benefits gamers and it can benefit the company because they're making some extra money. Bloodborne is an old game at this point. It's an old IP. The fact that they can just kind of, rehash the files a bit and get it to Steam, even if it's kind of a bad port, people are still going to buy the heck out of that, because we really proved that with Horizon Zero Dawn as well. And that's where we kind of have another problem, but these are just growing pains of our industry and where we're at right now, where we're going to be taking these games that were built for 30 FPS, and we're going to try to get them on PC. They may not run very well, unfortunately. That if you see the reviews for Horizon Zero Dawn on Steam, they're not super great, even though the game is phenomenal. I have not played it, but my brother has, and I trust him. He says that it was a great game, and that seems to be the sentiment you see a lot of the time as well. That's a really good game, but it just runs bad on PC. That is something we're going to have to deal with for a little bit. I think Microsoft right now is building games with PC in mind as well. We have the new Halo coming out, where even when they announced it 2 years ago, Halo Infinite, they even said in the description of that YouTube video, they said that it was going to be available on Xbox and it's going to be on Windows. So they know going into this that they're building for PC, so the games can run a little bit better. Microsoft is showing us this. Gears of War as well. I don't really like Gears of War, but I know that they are bringing they have brought them to PC, and this is where Sony really gets to step up to the table. And if they're going to give us a Bloodborne PC port, it'd be really nice if it ran smoothly right out of the gates. At least give us like 90 FPS. I mean, I want 144, but if it has to be 60 or 90, even that's gonna be better than the 30 that it was locked on. It was like 1080p 30 with probably dynamic resolution. I think Bloodborne is a really bad looking game in terms of resolution, in terms of aesthetic, and the graphic side of what the artists have done. It's gorgeous. I think it's a really cool landscape that they built, that like city gothic city like feeling. But in terms of resolution, it's piss poor, which is a shame. So if we can get it up to 10, it's probably 1080. But if we can get it up to 1080, if we can get the resolution to be static and not dynamic, if we can get the frame rate up, I think we have a beautiful game on our hands that you can't play on Xbox. So Microsoft isn't getting that extra cut, but PC players are gonna be very happy. I think overall, if you are a gamer, when we look at this topic, or like if you really care about the gaming community as a whole, I think it is important that these games do come to multi-platform. And you're gonna see me always being a championing for games being played by all. I absolutely hate it when games are locked down to one piece of hardware. Like it sucks that The Last of Us you can only play on the PlayStation. Like I really want to play that on my computer. And it's cool that this is finally happening now in the year 2020, 2019, but mainly here 2020 is when when Sony is doing it. That's when we're really in the full swing of things. And hopefully, like I said earlier, hopefully this is the beginning of games being built with PC in mind from the beginning, even if it's being a Sony exclusive at first, or a Microsoft Xbox exclusive that we know that it's going to be coming to PC. And it's really an exciting time. I'm glad that we get to watch this all unfold together. And okay, so I took just a break there for a second to think about like what I was going to talk about next, to kind of in the video. So this is the juicy stuff, so I guess we're saving it for the end. So this is perfect. Just playing the guitar, it brought it all back to me. So I wonder if the data that is driven behind Xbox sales and PlayStation sales and PC sales, I wonder if Sony and Microsoft have both, within the past few years, they've seen PC gaming and they've seen how the product that's being moved and how many people are moving to PC. I wonder if they see that and that's why they're doing this. I wonder if it's not just money for the game. I wonder if they're trying to set up these IPs to work on PC because they're starting to acknowledge in their mind, like, hey, maybe these console type systems aren't going to be around for forever, so we should probably start building up these IPs on PC, because we want people to get into our games on another platform that's getting rising popularity, so that even if our consoles start to fail, our games will thrive on the other system, and we can always have our publishing studios and our game developers be making games that's still going to make us a ton of money, even if we're not making money from our consoles. Yeah, that's pretty much where this conversation, that what we just went over right there is probably the whole the silver lining of all of this conversation, with the best part of the video right there. And now it's over. Hope you guys enjoyed. but yeah, I do wonder if I would assume that's probably one of the biggest drivers why Sony is suddenly talking about bringing more games to Steam. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video. Take care.